Welcome everyone. AimLIS presenting you all relevant information and knowledge regarding library and information science. Now our present topic is 100 objective questions with answers on library classification. To crack any competitive exams regarding library and information science, NET, SET, JRF, KVS, DSSSB-Librarian and others, I has assured that this will be very helpful and essential for all of you. Friends, if you enjoy the video, kindly give me a like and share this video to your friends. Don't forget to subscribe this channel AimLIS and press bell button for more notifications. Let's begin our topic. Number 1. The term Facet Analysis was first introduced by Dr. S.R.Ranganathan. The acronym for 5 fundamental categories are PMEST. Which organization in India is known for classification research? DRTC. Who gave the concept of Analytico synthetic scheme of classification? Dr. S.R.Ranganathan. Which is the latest edition of the colon classification scheme? 7th edition 1987. Which scheme of library classification was invented by C.A. Carter? Expensive classification 1891. The subject classification was developed by J.D. Brown 1906. The third part of colon classification describes index. Who has enunciated the APOPA pattern? Dr. S.R.Ranganathan. The first volume of DDC contains 42 pages. E is the symbol of main class, that is energy. DDC was built on a task approach to classify all human knowledge. Answer top down. The 6th edition of colon classification has 6 volumes. Who gave the concept of 5 fundamental categories? Dr. S.R.Ranganathan. DRTC is situated at Bangalore. A traditional subdivision of an old main class is canonical class. Fungus disease of a wheat plant is an example of compound subject. A systematic or utilitarian arrangement of members of an array is helpful sequence. The 4 canons of which plan deal with the language and terminology aspects in a scheme of classification? Notational. Which sequence of subjects facilitates readers not only in getting documents but also helps them know the strength and weakness of the collection? Answer parallel. It is the ordinal number which fixes the place of a document in a library relative to other documents having the same class number, call number. The amount of literature published or likely to be published on a subject is Literary Warrant. Who is referred to as the first grammarian of library classification? W.C.B. Sears. Which theory is a theory of library classification capable of carving out a methodology for design of a scheme for library classification? Dynamic. Subject classification by J.D. Brown is an example of freely faceted classification. Colon classification is an excellent example of pre-faceted Analytico synthetic classification, who developed UDC in 1895, taking DDC as its base, Paul Outlet and Henry Fontaine. The broad system of ordering was designed as a switching language in the year 1977. Astrophysics, astrochemistry, biophysics, etc. are examples of the mode of formation of subject fusion. These are certain assumptions which are helpful in carrying out the process of classification mnemonics. The title that results from the analyzed title by rearrangement the kernel terms on the basis of the postulates and principles governing the sequence kernel title. The word classification was derived from which Latin word classis? Bibliographic classification is associated with Henry Evelyn Bliss, 1935. Placing closely related books in close proximity are called agglomeration. Who defined the notation as shorthand sign? E.C. Richardson. Phoenix schedules are part of which classification? DDC. Sear's list of subject headings SLSH is mainly useful for small and medium libraries. The first edition of UDC published in 1905. The Library of Congress classification system divides human knowledge into 21 major classes, in which edition auxiliary table for the area was first introduced, DDC 16. Isolates such as density, quality, intensity are regarded as manifestation of property fundamental category. Chemistry for biologists is an example of intra-facet phase relation. The phase is also referred to as exposition phase, biased, which notation of bibliographic classification of Mills is now generally used as a phase link hyphen. It is a digit with an ordinal value but without a semantic value indicator digit. The electronic version of DDC 20th edition was issued in 1993 on CD-ROM titled Dewey for Windows. The Dewey Decimal Classification divides human knowledge into 10 basic categories. Canon of exhaustiveness is one of the canons of array. The classification scheme used by BNB is DDC. Method of a residue is to find out what? Personality facet. Who published the journal International Classification? ISCO. What is referred to an organized set of principles which provide the base for further investigation into and the development of a subject theory? What is the name of the theory which was emerged by distilling out of the past practices in designing the library classification scheme? Descriptive theory. Which one of the is not the stalwarts of descriptive theory? Ranganathan. Who devised one-place theory? Brown. What name is given to the theory which was marked by recognition and separation of three plans of work? Dynamic theory. What are three plans of work are recognized by dynamic theory of classification? Idea, verbal and notational plan. What greatly contributed to the evaluation of dynamic theory of classification? Basic laws, canons and principles, and postulates. What is called to an assumed statement of a phenomenon which cannot be deemed to be true or false, right or wrong, but can only be tested for its usefulness? Answer: postulates. What are called those principles worked out by so many classificationists which lay down the rhythm of classification canons? Canons for characteristics are part of which plan, idea plan, from which devise the class number of the systems in the main class psychology are formed chronological. What is the common facet in main classes of biology, zoology and botany? Problem facet. Chemistry for biologists is an example of intra-facet phase relation. When was the different typological study towards mode of formation of subjects done? 1950. It is a digit with an ordinal value but without a semantic value indicator digit. The UDC is a faceted classification. Cluster was formerly known as which mode of formation of subjects subject bundle, which gave greatly contributed to the evaluation of the dynamic theory, basic laws, canons and principles. How many basic laws are formulated by Dr. Ranganathan? 6. In which edition auxiliary table for area was first introduced? DDC 17. Method of residue is find out personality facet. What does LED stands for in CC? Latest effective decade. What is called the sequence in which fundamental categories of a subject are arranged to their decreasing concreteness? Facet Sequence. Principle of literary warrant was enunciated by A. Hum. Canon of characteristic is a canon of which plan, idea plan. Formation of chains is due to the result of denutation. Who is the coordinator of DDC 20th edition? J.P. Kamaromi. Who thought first about category in classification? Kant. The method of formation of subjects fusion gives basic subject. In the schedule of economics, which is proper way of using components in personnel management? Still more concrete, least concrete. Who is the editor-in-chief of 19th edition of DDC? Benjamin A. Custer. Who is the editor-in-chief of 21st edition of DDC? Winston E. Matthews. Table 3 in DDC 19th edition stands for Literature Subdivision. The concept of empty digit facilitates interpolation in array. Nick library books are arranged on the shelves according to classification number assigned by UDC. To which classification number does Sear's list of subject heading link DDC numbered? Notational system used in UDC is next. In the class number 22:46:51.44, the digit 46 represents matter. C. M. Hansen related to Library of Congress classification scheme. The ASIK encyclopedia and AIM periodical are applicable before personality. In UDC scheme, the digit 4 linguistics has been frozen and shifted to class 5. In the title Works of Shakespeare, the basic subject is literature.